The Spanish scholastic Vittoria wrote that to restrict the goods of an area from being supplied to another area which needed them was, quote, iniquitous and against charity. Remember that he was hearkening back to the idea that man is simply a steward of his possessions, which should ultimately be directed toward God. Man, he would argue, is not being a good steward by adamantly refusing to keep what is overabundant in his area and not supplying it to others in need who have none. The overall notion of the economists is that the goods of the earth are geographically disproportionate, and those goods that spring forth from the earth were given by God for the use and enjoyment of all his creation. On the subject of business and commerce, St. Thomas teaches that man has a duty to share material goods. But interestingly enough, he says that this duty doesn't always mean simple donations to charity. This duty can be fulfilled in a number of ways. St. Thomas mentions in the Summa that buying and selling and other economic contracts, such as hiring workers, are ways of fulfilling moral duties. In other words, a factory owner employing workers and paying them a just wage is actually fulfilling a moral duty of charity, assuming, of course, there is nothing sinful going on. Therefore, the medieval theologians, Dominicans, Franciscans, and Augustinians, insist in their writings that business, commerce, and trade are not de facto evils. If used properly, they support the common good and can be instruments of charity. Now that we see that since the Church is supportive of business generally, I want to turn to the specific topic of wealth and riches. I know that some of you are going to laugh when I say this, but I really believe that there are many very virtuous men who are hesitant to become involved in business for the reason that they are afraid that they will become rich. After all, the logic goes, Catholics must shun wealth and seek higher things, and to be rich is to feel guilty for having more than others.